News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. So, asking you, do you feel Kamala and the Democrats' attacks against Trump have been encouraging more assassination attempts against Trump? And should they stop saying he's Hitler and a fascist? Before I read the statements from, before we go to Robert Arlington's call again, a Jew from in the Metroplex who voted for Democrats and then stopped with Obama when he didn't move the embassy, not the embassy, but the capital of the great Israel to Jerusalem, and Trump did without blinking an eye. And I'm proud to say my pastor, Dr. Robert Jeffress, who's also one of my sponsors from First Baptist Dallas, said the prayer by President Trump's choice, because they're very close friends, and he had asked him to say the prayer, the blessing over it, and that was amazing. We'll get to that in a second. Here's the statement. By the way, I promised to do this too. Comedian Michael Rappaport Friday condemned liberals for making reckless Nazi comparisons, saying, keep Hitler's name out of your mouth unless you're referring to Hitler. And for years, he's criticized Trump, rather nasty. I mean, really disgustingly, but that's fine. He went on to defend Trump supporters attending his upcoming rally in New York City, arguing those comparing them to Nazi supporters are out of line. That Nazi rally that took place in Madison Square Garden in 1939 was just that, an actual true blue Nazi rally. So are you saying that anyone and everyone who shows up at Madison Square Garden for this upcoming Trump rally is a Nazi? That's a Nazi, really? Get the F out of here. Now, here's the statement released about the assassination attempts and the new stuff they've read after seeing the latest intelligence on attempts on the president's life. The leader of the Senate for the Republicans, who's the minority leader, Mitch McConnell, and the Speaker of the House, Speaker Johnson, released a joint statement. I'm going to read it now. It's pretty brief, but powerful. And then we'll go to Robert's call, plus your call. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Here's what they said today in a statement released. This summer, after the first attempted assassination of a presidential candidate in more than a century, President Biden insisted we can't allow this violence to be normalized. In September, after President Trump escaped yet another close call, Vice President Harris acknowledged we all must do our part to ensure this incident does not lead to more violence. These words have proven hollow, they say. Speaker Johnson and McConnell say. In the weeks since that second sobering reminder, the Democrat nominee for President of the United States has only fanned the flames beneath the boiling cauldron of political animus. Her most recent and most reckless invocations of the darkest evil of the 20th century seem to dare it to boil over. The vice president's words more closely resemble those of President Trump's second would-be assassin than her own earlier appeal to civility. The man who was caught waiting in an ambush in Florida left others with a chilling call to arms. It's up to you now to finish the job. Labeling a political opponent as a fascist risks inviting yet another would-be assassin to try robbing voters of their choice before Election Day. Vice President Harris may want the American people to entrust her with the sacred duty of the executive authority, but first she must abandon the base and irresponsible rhetoric that endangers both American lives and institutions. We both have been briefed on the ongoing, persistent, I repeat, this is me repeating, ongoing and persistent We both have been briefed on the ongoing and persistent threats to former President Trump by adversaries to the United States, and we call on the Vice President to take these threats seriously, stop escalating the threat environment, and help ensure President Trump has the necessary resources to be protected from those threats. That's pretty good, right? It's not too partisan, nasty, etc. That is that. And let's now go back to Robert in Arlington, who just got started. He is a Jewish man from Arlington who used to be a Democrat and then switched with Obama when he wouldn't move the embassy to Jerusalem like Trump did. I'm asking you, too, to chime in. Do you feel Kamala, the Democrats' attacks against Trump have been encouraging more assassination attempts against Trump? Should they stop saying he's Hitler and a fascist? 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Robert in Arlington, thank you for your patience, my good friend. Go ahead.
No worries. During the break when you held me over, I saw just a couple of days ago, I saw a really accurate meme. You know how the socialists on college campuses now they're blocking Jewish students from getting in.
Yeah, that's even much worse.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I saw one of those pictures, and on top of that picture, it was an actual black and white picture from Nazi Germany. It was Nazi brown shirts also blocking Jewish students, and on top of the meme, it said socialists blocking Jewish students since 1939. And I thought that was just painfully accurate. Socialists never change their stripes, my friend. Understand that, learn it, and don't ever forget it.
Have you heard Kamala or Joe denounce the Jew-hating, Hamas-loving, terrorist-loving people protesting on these college campuses, these radical Jew haters?
No, they haven't done anything, and that's why they're still doing it today. Because they know nothing's going to be done about it. These students, I don't think any of them have been expelled, and the ones that have been arrested, charges have been dropped. Nothing is being done, and because nothing is going to be done, it's going to continue. Do
you know these cockroaches are right here on the campus of UT Dallas? Many of them getting arrested. Those are people that are literally with groups that are openly post praise for terrorists and love and solidarity with people who slaughter Jews, who want to see Jewish blood run red right in front of their eyes and heads cut off, and glorify it with Satan as they do that. You know, they're right there on the campus of UTD. One of them's an SMU student at law who was in charge of that Jew-hating terrorist group out of UT in Austin, and was in charge of the whole flagship for the whole state. These sick Jew-hating cockroaches. Go ahead, sir.
Well, we've got an awesome governor that's not going to tolerate any of that garbage. Thank God for Governor Abbott.
Yes.
He's awesome. I really like him. I was kind of hoping he had have maybe further interest, maybe to run for president one of these days. I'd love to vote for him.
He might. He's a happy warrior, and his disposition is not negative. I think he would be tremendous.
Yeah, I think he'd too. But everything you're saying about what these students are, how they're phrasing and how just glorifying these animals, I got to tell you. The Nazis, when they were doing their atrocities, they kept everything hidden. And these people, because I saw the videos that Hamas made. And
I have too. I think the most vile one should all be seen by every American.
I know. And that they should be. I mean, it was just, my God, it was just really painful for me to watch. And
I'm sorry.
Watching everything, if somebody would have told me that a bunch of guys from the Middle East were going to make videos of raping and killing innocent kids and burning people alive, then half the world would come out and just tell everybody how wonderful they are and just praise them. I would have told them that you were crazy, but here we are.
They hate you.
Yes, I know.
They hate you. And they want to slaughter you, and they glorify, and they want to see it. And I will not let that happen with any power I have. And I will stand with you, and I will fight with you, and I will do everything I can. And I want everybody to have. I hope everybody has the same feeling, and I want you to know the depth of how important our Jewish friends are, and our brothers, and the people of Israel are. Yeah. And I feel that Jewish people, and I can't speak for you, but I feel that Jewish people know that their very existence is now at stake.
Well, I would like to say something that not too many Jews will say. You Christians, people like you are our greatest ally right now. And I can only speak for myself. Thank you so much, Toda Rav, to all of you, and Shalom.
I want to tell you that my pastor, Dr. Robert Jeffress, is one of the most bold and outspoken of anybody I know. I'm very proud to say that several times I have watched him interview Bibi Netanyahu for our church service. And he does it where it's not part of the church service, obviously, because, we don't worship people. But he interviewed Bibi Netanyahu for 5-10 minutes. And it was aired during our service before it started. Like, you know what I mean? Like before, I think he did it between, the worship music plays for 30 minutes or so, and then he just stops everything and says, "No, this is an interview I just conducted with BB, and I want to watch it." And it's 5-10 minutes, and it is beyond incredible because BB knows and loves my pastor, and my pastor knows and loves him. And the reason why, do you know why authentic Christians are such rabid supporters? And I say authentic because ones who say they don't support Israel don't know God. Because God says, do you know why in us evangelical Christians and just any Christian who adheres to what God says, do you know why we are beyond fierce for you and we will never give that up if we obey what God says and wants? Do you know why?
Well, I mean, I'm not a believer in the New Testament.
No. It's okay. No, this is actually the Old Testament. And it's reconfirmed in the New Testament. I'll just tell you why. Why? Do you know why? I want to ask you because I'm curious in a good way, not negative. If you know why.
Well, I know in Genesis it says, "I'll bless those that bless you."
That's exactly it. Say it again.
Of course.
Say it slowly because I jumped on you there.
"I will bless those that bless thee, and curse those that curse thee." That's in the book of Bereshit. Don't
worry, it doesn't bother me. Go ahead.
Yeah, we call it Bereshit. That's what you guys call Genesis, book of Genesis.
Yeah.
And that's, that promise to Jews was also a warning to the world. And when I watch what happens to Gaza, I see God has kept his promise to this very day, and he's not going to change his mind anytime soon.
He blessed us, and we are so rich as a nation because of what we did, and I think, was it 1948, with the great state of Israel and signing that pact or that agreement we made that sealed the deal for Israel to be protected and brothers with us and exist and such. And there was a Christian like me and like Dr. Jefferson, like many of us, who was in the office of the president. Was it, I forget, who was it? Was it Truman? Who was it? Do you remember in 48? Anyways, he was in there. He's one of his top advisors. He went in there and said, "You have to do this." He went to the wall and said, "You must." He pretty much shoved it in his face in a godly way and said, "You're going to do this." And and it's a must and it's a mandate. And he basically said, because of his faith was why, and that got it signed. A Christian like me is what did that, and it is exactly because of what your Holy Scripture says. The Torah. And I have many dear friends. Most of my dear friends from high school are Jewish. And I absolutely am I'm overjoyed every moment I think of it, of my Jewish friends worshiping the same God that we worship. And there is no daylight between us in that regard. And the reason why we are so fervently insane to be with you as a protector with you and to never vow to do anything but bless you is because of that. Because we honor what the Old Testament says, because it's our scripture and it's truth, and it's God's truth as it is your truth. And I want everybody to know that what Israelis that are fervent, there's a lot of people in Israel that are not believers of the Jewish at all faith. They're like secular Jews. That's all I mean. And if they're a secular Jew, you might as well. I'm just saying they're cultural, but they're they're secular. You know what I mean? Most of the people in Israel, apparently, I don't know, might be 50% or 51%, but they're secular, which is not cool, as you know, and I know it's sad. But it is what it is, though. They're still Jews. I'm not that they're just as valuable as anyone. I'm just saying, that's sad for Jewish people too, But I'm just saying that everything that we believe and everything. So the point is, we are to protect you and we are to back you in every way, shape, or form, and it makes me proud. And it's special. It's such a special bond. And so anyways, that's what I want to tell you. And like I always do when I go home for Chicago in December, I'll be seeing my dear friends who are mostly Jews, who many of them are liberal Democrat Jews. But and what's funny is they'll ask
leave the Democrat Party too.
Yeah. Well, you know what? They I'll tell you stuff. They're disgusted at what the illegals have done by their party and all that stuff. But we can have discussions. I don't bring it up. I let them, and we can have ones because we're dear friends. They're not idiots, and I'm not an idiot. Anyways, you're an amazing man, and I love you, Robert, and I appreciate you, and I love your calls. Please keep them in, and I love our friendship that we've developed on the radio. Okay.
Yeah, Baruch Hashem, my friend.
Thank you, my friend. Everything. Amen.
Oh.
All right, take care. All right, bye. Okay, I love that, and I don't know if but I love that, and I'm grateful for that time and for his call. Next on the Chris Crock Show, we have so much more. Kamala now refuses to expand fracking. She's actually reversed her fracking from reversing her fracking. Coming up next. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Making a preset, y'all. 800-288 WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. What an honor for our last caller, and I just love having that intimate relationship with you guys for 15 years now, and that we have these relationships all over the Metroplex and beyond. It's incredible. Thank you. Okay, so the Harris campaign, they literally said, she said she was going to put people that were in the fracking industry in jail 4 years ago when she was running, and then fracking, kill it, ban it outright. And then now she's running again. She says, "Oh no, I'm not going to ban fracking. No." And then she switched again. She switched this past week and said, "Oh no. This is one of her top spokespersons that's in charge of the climate stuff. Oh no, she's not promoting." I'm reading the exact quote. Oh no, the exact quotes start with she, and then it goes on. Oh no, she's not promoting expansion of fossil fuel drilling. Oh no, she's not expanding fracking. She just said she wouldn't ban it, so she will not be expanding fracking. No. Sorry. Don't worry, there will be no more fracking. It's just going to continue at this pace no matter what, no matter how much energy we need. We're not going to do more. We're certainly not going to drill, baby, drill. And people don't realize all that goes into the inflation of the energy and the inflation. Sure, a lot of it's the 5.8 trillion trillion that Kamala was literally responsible for. She literally cast the deciding vote for the Senate on 3 of the trillions of dollars of spending bills. But it's also that she's not going to let energy increase, and energy goes into everything that causes inflation and grocery prices. I'll tell you about that in a moment, but also you can hear CNN destroy her about how she'll prosecute and how horrible she is on energy. CNN. All of that is coming up next on the Chris Crock Show at 33 after the hour on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. If you want to comment on this, you can chime in now. 800-288 WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288 WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Well, okay, by the way, I have a statement from the Israeli military that just came out tonight. I'll just read you the quick version of it. This is from the Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, who is the spokesperson for the great state of Israel, the great country of Israel, the mighty country of Israel. The IDF fulfilled its mission. If the regime in Iran were to make the mistake of beginning a new round of escalation, we would be obligated to respond. So it is over. Shockingly, the attack was limited to, they hit in Iran, they hit their military, they hit their IRCG, Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, their elite forces that are terrorist and train, arm, and provide everything for terrorists to kill our brothers and sisters, the Jews, and Israel Americans in Israel, from Gaza, from the north of Lebanon with Hezbollah, from the northeast by Syria, from the northeast by Iraq, from the east by Iran, from the south by Yemen, from the Houthis, and to terrorists in every part of the world they can do, including supplying the munitions, the IEDs in Afghanistan to kill hundreds and hundreds of our troops. And they also are attacking within Iraq toward Israel, but they're also attacking our bases. In fact, the IRCG, when Trump assassinated awesomely and righteously the head of the IRCG, Qasem Soleimani, he was in Iraq overseeing missiles and attacking and killing Americans from inside and at our bases, and also to Israel to kill Jews. Now, they also are responsible for the funding and training Hezbollah to blow up the American barracks in Beirut, Lebanon in the 80s. They killed 242 of our precious military and a handful of the other people from other branches of the military and staffers in a vile terrorist attack, because that's who they are. Now, going back to Kamala, her campaign has flipped again on fracking, from going to I'm prosecuting people who are frackers. I'm prosecuting oil companies, and I will ban fracking. There will be no fracking. When she ran the last time, to this time, so, oh, no, what do you mean? I said I was against fracking. No, in 2020, I said I was for it. That's a lie. In her vice presidential debate, she said Joe will not ban fracking. She clearly, CNN plays it. You might even hear it here in this clip. I've got several clips. But she never said I wouldn't. She said Joe wouldn't, because she was the vice president in the vice presidential debate. So she lies on that. Now she's flipped again from going to, oh, no, I won't do that. Oh, no, I love fracking. Oh, look at it. I'm leg humping fracking. To now her top surrogate said in an interview, oh, no. She's never said she wouldn't expand fracking. She will not expand fracking. She's not promoting it. Here's the direct quote. She's not promoting expansion. She's just said they wouldn't ban fracking. So you won't see any more fracking. Pennsylvania. Flip the bird. There you go. Take that. There's your bird. There's your expansion of fracking. There won't be one more job in fracking. Fracking and oil is the number one industry in all of Pennsylvania. I think it employs 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 10. It's not. It was shocking when I read that. It's somewhere between 1 out of 5 and 1 out of 10. It's insane. Just know that. Now, let's go to the audio from the K-File, which is their investigative. I don't know what that means, but it's their investigative thing. And listen to this about big oil and what Kamala does from fake news CNN of all places.
She was making this extremely bold promise that she was going to take the U.S. oil industry, possibly criminally prosecute them for their role in climate change. She compared it to big tobacco, saying they knew the effects of climate change, but they hid it from the public. Now we saw there, fast forward to 2024, what are her and Tim Walz doing? They are touting the record domestic oil production from those same oil companies during the Biden-Harris administration. And well, how big of a shift is this? Well, take a listen to just one of those comments from 2019.
Will you order your Justice Department and your Attorney General to investigate Chevron and Shell companies for their part in and their damage to our planet in this climate crisis?
I'm saying about these big oil companies and these fossil fuel companies, look, you should be really prepared to look at a serious fine or be charged with a crime. And they need to pay the price. So yes is the answer.
Woo! Yes! Kill them! Go hang them! Shoot them! Kill them! Kill! And then there's this from CNN's The K-File.
I took on big oil companies and won. We've taken on the big oil companies who are polluting. I took on oil companies who are polluting our environments.
All right, obviously that is extremely different than what she is presenting right now. But this isn't the only thing that she's flipped on that you found, and you found a lot of other inconsistencies.
Yeah, she's flip-flopped on a lot of issues related to energy. Take a look at just a few of them. She said she was going to ban plastic straws. She said she was going to ban fracking. We have heard a lot about that. And she said she would eliminate the filibuster to pass the Green New Deal. Now, she also ran Facebook ads during that campaign, which were touting her support for the Green New Deal, which were saying that she was going to take on big oil to stop for their role in contributing to climate change.
Well, there you go, from CNN of all places. Look at that. So my questions for you on this are, do you think Kamala really does want to ban fracking? Has she been dishonest this whole time? Do you trust her anymore with this? And who do you think would produce more gas and oil in their administration, Kamala or Trump? And do you think the left's climate hysteria is a hoax? 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Well, let's look at that about Kamala and the climate hoax. Ready? From the great Bjorn Lomborg, contributor to the Wall Street Journal, a regular contributor, and to the New York Post. He is an expert on climate, and here's what he says. The one constant, he's an expert journalist on climate. The one constant, a fixation on scaring the public, which has in turn shaped bad climate policies. At the start of this century, the polar bear was the emblem of climate apocalypse. Protesters dressed as polar bears, while Al Gore's hit film in 2006, An Inconvenient Truth, showed us a sad animated polar bear floating away to his death. That's great. The Washington Post warned that polar bears faced extinction. The World Wildlife Fund's chief scientist even claimed some polar bear populations would be unable to reproduce by 2012. And then there's the 2010s campaigners just stopped. And then in 2010s, the campaigners just stopped talking about the polar bears. What do you mean they're dying? It finally became impossible for them to ignore the mountain of evidence showing the global polar bear population has increased substantially from 12,000 in the 60s to 26,000, more than double in the present day. The main reason, people are hunting a lot less polar bears. The same thing has happened with depictions of Australia's Great Barrier Reef. For decades, campaigners shouted the reef was being killed off by rising sea temperatures. Remember that? After extensive damage from a hurricane in 2009, Australian estimates of coral cover reached a low in 2012. The media was flooded with claims of the Great Reef Catastrophe. I remember this vividly. The scientists predicted the reef would be decimated by 2022. The Guardian even published an obituary. Look at these fools. For the past 3 years, the Great Barrier Reef has had more coral cover than at any point since records began in 1985, setting off a new record in 2024. It's setting a new record. The good news gets a fraction of the coverage that the scare stories did. An often recurrent climate story has been the alleged drowning of small Pacific islands due to sea level rise, which Obama, remember former President Hussein Obama said this? The man who put his mansions right on the sea in Hawaii and in Martha's Vineyard or wherever it is, right? He bought $20, $30, $40, $50 million mansions on the sea, and he told us the sea was going to rise. Well, in 2019, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres flew all the way to Tuvalu for a Time magazine cover shoot this summer. So he burned all that climate change fuel, right? All that jet fuel to take a picture in Tuvalu. This summer, the New York Times finally shared what it called surprising climate news. Almost all of the atoll islands are increasing in size. In fact, the scientific literature has documented this trend for more than a decade. Extensive studies have long shown this accretion is stronger than climate-caused erosionism, meaning the land area of Tuvalu is increasing. Today, killer heat waves are the new scare story. Willful blindness is what they're saying. He says, "I'm almost done, brother," and then we're gonna pause for a quick stop. President Biden recently claimed extreme heat is the number one weather-related killer in the U.S. He is wrong. I repeat, Biden said extreme heat is the number one weather-related killer in the U.S. He is wrong by a factor of 25. While extreme heat annually kills nearly 6,000 people, cold kills 152,000 Americans every year. So which would you rather have, 6,000 Americans dead or 152,000 Americans dead? Of which, of the 152,000 Americans killed from cold, they die from extreme cold. So, dude, 6,000 die from heat in America every year. 152,000 Americans die from cold. This guy's Joe Biden's an absolute idiot. Let me continue on. They all are. They're all liars. They want to control your lives and ruin it. Kamala wants to take away your gas stoves. Well, she has. Did you see that picture? She did it twice. She did 2 pictures from her kitchen with her husband, Doug, who beats women and beds down with them and has them abort their babies and mistreats them. According to all these allegations, and so he had confirmed impregnated his nanny, which was also his daughter's school teacher. But despite rising temperatures, the age standardized, I forgot to say Kamala in the pictures with her husband, they have a gas stove, but they want to take away yours. Despite rising temperatures, the age standardized extreme heat deaths have actually declined in the U.S. by almost 10% per decade, and globally by even more, largely because people who are more prosperous are better able to afford air conditioners. Imagine that. Lastly, if 6,000 heat wave deaths are a genuine priority, a sensible response would be to ensure American electricity remains cheap, so it's not just the rich who can afford to keep their air conditioner running. Amen, brother. 152 Americans dying each year from the cold. Biden should pay attention to that instead. Okay? Well, there's your answer. It's all a ruse. It's a lie. Coming up next on the Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820. If you want to comment on that, the question is, do you think Kamala really does want to ban fracking? Has she been dishonest the whole time? Or do you trust her on this anymore? And why do you think, who do you think would produce more gas and oil in their administration, Kamala or Trump? And do you think the left's climate hysteria is a hoax? Coming up next, by the way, I'm going to tell you why, as I promised, inflation and high grocery prices and high everything is related directly to producing more gas and oil. I'm going to tell you that. And second of all, we're going to talk about an Iranian compromised Harris Biden defense official just got a promotion today in the Harris Biden Pentagon after a major classified leak on Israel's attack plans for Iran. This woman is quite possibly believed to be the one that did this. Why are they giving her a promotion in our dang Pentagon? It's disgusting. Also, we're going to get in with top podcaster Patrick Bet-David. He met with and did Barron Trump's first interview. He's 18-year-old at college at New York University's Stern School of Business, where my friends went, where I stayed there for a summer as an intern. My friends are from there. I'm like, you guys are smart. A top podcaster is impressed, though, with how humble Barron is. And I'll tell you one example the guy talks about in his podcast. All that is next on the Chris Crock Show at 10:49 on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. 800-288 WBAP is our number. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288 WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Well, Barron Trump. Oh, I forgot to tell you about the whole reason. Here's why energy prices, well, not energy prices, but production of gas and oil and producing more and more of it and fracking is so good for our economy. It starts with feeding the animals who are made for meat, cows, etc., milking the cows, chicken, everything, fertilizer for crops, and feed for animals. It all revolves around energy. In fact, what's so shocking to learn, not shocking, but it's like, whoa, you have no idea. Petroleum is involved. Petroleum is literally in fertilizer. So the price of gas and oil affects the price of fertilizer tremendously. Any farmer, we've had them call on and tell me that, but I also read about it. Like it blows your mind how much this is involved in everything. So petroleum is it's heavily involved in and used in fertilization. That's why fertilizer is insane. Look, I get my pest control and my lawn guy are the same, and I use the stuff that licensed people get because he's licensed and he can sell it, and he trains. He can apply it, but I do it myself, and I love it. I'm passionate about it. My lawn is incredible now. It's finally at 100%. Got hit by some fungus. Anyways, but so it goes into the fertilizer. My fertilizer went from, like, both of them, fertilizer and pre-emergent that I get every 3 months went from like a combined, I think 80 to like 120. I mean that's literally your example. That's the good stuff. It's not the crap stuff. The stuff you get at Home Depot and Lowe's is I'm not being negative. If it works for you, great, but not for me. So your fertilizer, your feed. Then for the heavy machinery, it's diesel. Everything involved with the machinery, everything involved with gas and petroleum, oil is used to produce energy. It's massive for the energy. So your energy bills are insane. The machinery on the farm to make your crops, etc., is insane. Then you have to take it from the farm to the factory, and then you take it from the factory to the grocery stores, and that requires tremendous fuel. That is insane on the delivery of each of those legs. Then you have the energy cost inside of the store to heat everything, to freeze everything, to heat and cool these massive stores that we go to for grocery stores. It's everything that goes into every one of that. And that's why your grocery prices have so skyrocketed. And the reason why oil production seems so high right now is because it is. And the reason why it's high is not because of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They brag about it. They have they have said no to so many permitting. They've stopped permitting. They've created new actions to stop it. Trump is the one who put in all of these, pumped all the oil, started all the oil, loosened all the regulations, sold all these leases. It takes 3 years to get the approval. It takes from the approval under a Trump administration and allowing the sale and making it go forward. It takes 3 to 4 years before it's pumping. You see that? So the ones that are pumping or that began pumping 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 1 year ago are from the Trump administration. The next administration, if it's Kamala, we will see it go down, 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 down. Because not only it'll be from the 4 years of putting this general cuffs on it, but then it'll be another 4 years of continuing to do that. That's their plan. But they're not going to ban fracking. They're just not going to do any extra of it anymore. All right, I won't have time for the other stuff. I apologized. Basically, Barron Trump, he said, let me, at the end of the interview, let me walk you to your car. He says he stays there and walks with us. He's working in customer service. He walks us to our car. He's standing there until we get in the car and leave. So he's never come close to, he's never seen such a customer service from this kid, Barron Trump. And that's how his daddy raised him. That is how I can say. And the Iranian promotion, do I have to go? Yeah, okay, I got to get out. We'll do that later.